The southwest side of Chicago has been hit hard with severe weather tonight. Joining us now is storm chaser Andrew Pritchard.
And Andrew, we've been told that you've been driving pretty close to the Chicagoland area. You followed this storm that dropped down several tornadoes. Just describe some of the things that you saw as you were chasing this tornado.
All right. Well, I picked it up on the west side of Kankakee, actually. I intercepted the storm right as it dropped its first large tornado. I saw some reports, actually, before that, but that was prior to my intercepting the storm. But on the west side of Kankakee, by about 5 to 10 miles, it produced a large tornado, probably about a quarter-mile wide, and I could tell it was violent right away. This was luckily before reaching any metro areas. I did see it hit a few structures. I'm sure were farmhouses, that kind of deal. But then I kept following it to the northeast, where it produced another large tornado a little bit closer to the Chicago area. And then a third one formed. This tornado roped out, and it was actually a very quick transition. Oftentimes the mesocyclone will occlude, and you'll get a rope out of your tornado, and then usually about 5-10 miles to your southeast, a little bit later, you'll get a new area that will develop. But this was instantaneous. The new tornado developed, and within 15 seconds or so was already large and easily a violent tornado. And this is the tornado that I followed toward the Bay area and parts northeast from there. This is where it tracked into the southwest suburbs. I believe the Park Forest area may have been hit, areas generally around that area in the southern suburbs.
Well, Andrew, you obviously sound like you know what you're doing with all the terminology. Where are you now, and what are you going to be doing later on tonight? Are you going to stay with the storm?
Well, the storm actually heading into the metro area, I was unable to keep up with it much longer. There's more obstacles blocking your view with buildings and trees, and the road options become not quite as good once you get into the traffic. And the storm actually moved out over Lake Michigan eventually. So right now I'm actually just heading home. I live down in Champaign, so I'm moving down Interstate 57. Yeah, I just lost the tornado whenever it got into the southern suburbs. I got a few more videos or images anyway, and video when I passed over overpasses and whatnot that would give me a heightened view to my north. But after that, when I got onto the backside of the storm, rain wraps around the other side, and coming in through damage paths and stuff, it was impossible to keep up with it any longer. So I just tried to make my way south, which became kind of a hassle with damage. Most of the highways were either closed off. I know Interstate 57 was closed due to damage crossing the interstate, and other highways had power lines and whatnot blocking them. So the last couple hours, I've just been really trying to get home.
Right. Andrew, now, based on some of the damage that you saw out there as you were tracking this thunderstorm, basically, for how long were you tracking the storm, by the way?
It was probably about an hour. I can't tell you exactly because obviously things were a little bit hectic, but
sure.
I would say it was at least an hour that I was following it.
And as you were following this cell that produced several tornadoes, you said, and we've had many reports that basically back up your story there. What kind of damage, now, with this tornado, how would you rate this tornado? I know we have to get some survey teams out there, that sort of thing, but just from some of the damage you saw, how violent was this, basically, several tornadoes that you saw? How basically strong were these?
It's really hard to say with the damage factor because for most of the life cycle, I was on the south edge of the tornado. And so once I lost it, I didn't really head north much more. So I can't tell you exactly what I saw from the major tornado, but what I can tell you is the wind speed watching the tornado, it was very obviously a violent tornado. I saw it hit various smaller structures, and I can tell you that it was tearing that up pretty well. I saw at one point what looked to be a car lifted into the air and carried at least about a half a mile. So I can
Andrew,
tell you.
We've got to let you go, buddy, but please stay safe. Looks like there's another round of thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow, so more storm chasing opportunities. Andrew, be safe tonight.
And a lot of that damage will be seen once the sun is up. I'm sure it's going to be horrible.
Yeah, take care out there, everybody. We'll be right back.